Alright guys, so today we're going to do a little bit of a lighting breakdown. This is actually a commercial I shot for a food brand, and what I used for this was the BMPCC 4K and the Sigma 18-35. This is actually the edit I made for my reel. The final edit and the coloring I didn't like very much, so I actually used the bit I put together for my reel, which is not the final edit, or doesn't even look exactly like the final edit, but it's coherent enough that we can go along with it and see shot by shot how I lit it. In this first shot, you can see Santa just putting down the presents, and much of the lighting actually in this shot came from, as you can see, from the Christmas tree. So as you can see, the tree, these are actually LEDs now. Apparently good quality LEDs, because we didn't get any kind of banding. I checked for that beforehand. That's something you got to check every time you use practicals. Be very careful either to match your country's electrical cycle. In this case, we live in this side in America, including the Caribbean and South America. We use 60 hertz. If it's in Europe, we would have to use 50 hertz, but in this case we use shutter angle. But if you get banding, be sure to use shutter speed and match it to the speed of your country's electrical cycle. It's never ideal to light up with practicals, but in this case it worked, and if you can do it and you check for that, you should be good. But always watch for banding, always. And so here, as you can see, the main source of light is the Christmas tree, and I was actually at 400 ISO, so it was pretty bright. So you can see in the right, I had actually a DIY LED tube light that I set up in the one side of the couch, giving that blue light you see over there, which looks like, let's say it looks like moonlight, because in Hollywood everyone kind of agreed that the moon is blue. That's kind of more of a grayish color, but you can go with it, and you've seen it so much that it actually looks pretty good. On to the next scene. It's pretty much the same thing. Here you can see Santa sits down. He has that blue accent light on the right side, and for this to light up this side of his face, we actually had someone standing in, one of the producers standing in with a LED bar set to tungsten to kind of match the lights from the Christmas tree. So as you can see, this is kind of a tungsten balance on all of Santa's right side, and on his left the RGB LED tube that we use for this light over here. And so this one is the same lighting as before, but with an added effect. It was supposed to be like this light came shining down and on a plate. It's a food product, so it shines down on the plate, and Santa's like, whoa, he's amazed of what he's looking at. So he had to get some flicker on his face. We didn't have a practical way to do it on set, so I added some flicker effect on DaVinci Resolve, which you can look for under the plugins tab, and I think it looks pretty nice. It could have been a little more drastic. And now for this scene, this is an interesting one. Actually, the director had this one kind of mapped out before I came in, and it came out pretty good. For this one, he used a Fresnel light. You can use any sort of Fresnel light that can give you the power, so you can get the exposure right. Actually, the plate was kind of blown out a little bit, but we can live with it, because then there was a cut scene with a B-roll and all that stuff. But try not to blow out your whites, and this is actually a camera with a good dynamic range, so that was actually an oversight on my part. But this one is interesting. As you can see, we have this is the 18-35. This is a wide shot. As you can see in his face, he has like this sheen from something. It was actually one of the producers, which is actually the director's daughter, with like a mirror shiny thing, like moving it on his face, and someone had a blue light. I don't remember who it was. One of the producers had a blue light shining on that side of Santa. That wasn't actually the LED tube. That was another, like a little cube light that we're gonna see in one of the shots later on. But yeah, this is actually pretty nice. And use the background we used the Christmas tree as a background with the bokeh. This was actually the 18-35 on a slider. And yeah, now for the close-up shot, it's the same thing. but we used the Canon L Series for this one, the 50mm. It gives a really nice bokeh, and overall it's a really nice quality lens. I had actually never used one of those lenses before, but I like it very much now. It's a really nice lens. Look at the quality, the thickish texture on the bokeh. Now this shot was my favorite. This shot was my favorite. As you can see, we had the LED, the RGB LED on the back. And as you can see here, this actually over here, we used the practical light, this LED over here, right? But the problem was it was flickering unless you put it full blast. But at full blast, it was actually clipping over here. So we had to add some, which in retrospect we should have hit better, but you're not gonna notice that if I don't tell you, and you can actually crop it out. I think it was cropped out in the final shot. We actually added a little bit of kind of the material that X-rays are made of. I'm sorry for the ignorance. I don't remember what that's called. I've seen it before and used it before, but I don't remember the name. So we set it over here with some gaffer tape. So it brought down the levels to where we could work with them. Since the practicals were kind of tungsten balanced, we had a COB light over here, I believe it was, with CTO gel, with some diffusion to kind of match the yellow from the LED on the shot. And it was actually one of my favorite shots. And for this final shot, actually the director is he's a photographer, so he knows how to work with lights. He likes hard light for some reason, and it works. Sometimes it works. Like that's why you gotta open up to stuff sometimes. This is actually hard light, and if you go with it with the look of the commercial, we actually used hard light before on the one with the top Fresnel light, on the shot with the plate with the Fresnel light. That was actually hard light too, and this was hard light, and it came out pretty good. The beard looks like it's about to blow, but trust me, it's not. We exposed for it. It was actually hard light. Like you can see those highlights are about to clip, but not quite, and it looks really nice. And you can see like in the frame over there, you can see the reflection of the Christmas tree. So we always kind of have that Christmas tree on the bottom, and it gives a nice bokeh. And yeah, I think it came out pretty nice. Like I would never use hard light, but like after this, I would seriously consider it for a lot of stuff. Alright guys, so that's going to be it for now. If you enjoy this type of content, let me know in the comments. And if you like the channel, please don't forget to subscribe and give me a thumbs up. And I'll see you in the next one. Take care, guys.